All right, we are live. This is the first ever Too Many Records A-side, B-side done in a live format. So basically what I'm doing for this is I'm going to do my usual A-side, B-side. I'm bringing it back. People have been asking for a very long time for me to do this. I got derailed when I moved across the country, but I want to bring it back because it's always a fun segment. It's cool to show off records that I got in. It's very cool to talk to people live, so I'm going to fuse the two together. If you don't know what A-side, B-side is, basically, long story short, I am going to talk about albums that are coming in at the beginning of the month that I'm looking forward to getting on vinyl. I'm going to be talking about albums coming out that I'm looking forward to listening to, and I'm also going to share any music news. So I'm going to not treat this like a traditional live stream. I'm going to be treating this more like a video, and I will talk to some people in the chat every now and then. So if you're watching this after the fact, you might just get used to that. But ultimately, it's going to be just talking about the things on my agenda, getting through this. I'm keeping myself to a tight 20 minutes, and then we're out. So, hi to everyone in the chat right now. Shout out to Nick, Travis, we got Noel, Josh, Wolfsbane, Steven, everyone's here. Cool. Let's just dive in and start. We can talk, and if you guys have anything to share in conjunction with my list, I have some cool records to show off. I have some awesome records coming out this month. Let's just see how it goes. And some really cool news, too. So you guys are going to get the first little drop of some news as well. All right, let's get started. Albums coming out this month. Now, I'm not usually going to have a graphic to show the album like I used to have in the A-side. So just imagine that the album I'm talking about, when I talk about it, like Google it or something and look at the image as I talk about it. The first one is Beck's Hyperspace. So Beck is an artist that pretty much everyone loves to some capacity. I've been a big fan of a lot of his output. My favorite Beck albums are Mutations, and I really like Midnight Vultures, which needs a vinyl reissue. If you guys agree, leave a comment, because that is one that absolutely should be on vinyl and isn't. It's been out of print for a long time. And I really like, Odelay is great. Sea Change, arguably tied for Mutations, is my favorite. But I was kind of falling off the Beck wagon with Colors. I thought Colors was, or Color, I forget if it was plural. It was not a great album. I thought it was super generic and boring to me. I listened once and never had any interest to go back to it. However, I did hear the first two singles off Hyperspace, and I'll tell you, if you kind of wrote them off, I would go back and listen to Hyperspace's singles. They are unlike anything he's ever done before. They're smooth, they're electronic, they're sexy. I really like that sonic direction. If the whole album manages to sound different, Beck's really good at doing full albums. He's not just a singles guy usually. So I'm going to give it a chance. We'll see if Hyperspace lives up to what I'm hoping it does. But let's continue. So Beck, we have A Winged Victory for the Sullen, the Undivided 5. So if you watch this channel, you know I love ambient music and modern classical, and A Winged Victory for the Sullen is one of the best in the game, without a doubt. Their last record, Atomos, was excellent, and their self-titled debut is arguably even better than that. But they do some of the best kind of emotive ambient work, modern classical, as I said. And their next album is out. They had a soundtrack come out called Iris in between Atomos and this. And Iris didn't really do it for me. It was all right. It wasn't amazing. But anything that's one of their studio albums and not a soundtrack, I'm super interested in. So I actually just got the record in. Actually, I can show you. Just knocked the record over. I just got the record in, so I can show you right now. I haven't listened to it yet. It's in my pile right here to listen to very soon. So I really like this cover, this kind of like amorphous blob, whatever this may be. So if you guys like kind of that like really pretty emotive instrumental stuff, A Winged Victory for the Sullen is worth your time, and I hope that this lives up. Travis in the chat just said it's amazing, and I trust his opinion on everything except for Sufjan Stevens. So I think I'll like it. Let's see. DJ Shadow's Our Pathetic Age is coming out. Now, DJ Shadow's been around for a very long time. Obviously, his first couple records, like Introducing and Private Press, are considered some of the best electronic, hip-hop, trip-hop, plunderphonics records that exist. I really liked his last album, The Mountain Will Fall, especially that track with Run the Jewels, but overall I really enjoyed everything on there, and I'm not entirely sure what to think of a new album by him, except that I'm excited to listen to it. He really misses a lot less than he hits. So as an absolute legend, I feel like it's worth my time to give it a chance. I hope that it's not too angry and bitter with Our Pathetic Age being the title, but maybe it's ironic. Who knows? Either way, I'm really excited to hear the new DJ Shadow album. Speaking a little more on ambient music, Hammock has a new album, Silencia, out. It's the third in their trilogy. I liked the last two, but they certainly were not as powerful for me as the early Hammock records. So I'm interested in hearing what the third part of the trilogy will sound like, if it's going to be some kind of similar conceptually. I have not pre-ordered it yet, though, which is rare for me for a Hammock record. So I think I'm going to listen to it, and if it really wins me over, I'll probably end up, I don't know, pre-ordering it, because that's just what I tend to do. But Hammock is great, and they're definitely one of my all-time favorites. So we will go from there. All right. Next up, we have Leonard Cohen's Thanks for the Dance. As you guys know, Leonard Cohen passed away not too long ago, and it was a huge bummer. He's one of my favorite songwriters ever, and a lot of his songs mean a lot to a lot of people. I really like a lot of the stuff in his late career as well. Him and Bowie both had a really strong late career output for people that have been around for a very long time. And I'm not entirely sure what to think of posthumous material. I hope it's not throwaways. I hope it's actually like a fully formed album, or at least feels as cohesive as one can be without giving direct input. But, Leonard Cohen is just the bee's knees. If you guys don't know Leonard Cohen, I'd honestly say just go back to the beginning of his discography and just start listening. The man is a bona fide poet. You definitely know his song Hallelujah, because it was covered famously by Jeff Buckley, Rufus Wainwright, and about every other person that's ever made music. But Thanks for the Dance is coming out, and I'm very excited to give it a chance, because any more Leonard Cohen is very appreciated, because that gravelly voice. You also might know him from the True Detective Season 1 theme song, Nevermind, which is just awesome. Just a really good song. What else do we got here? One more that I'm looking forward to, Les Big Byrd. So Les Big Byrd, I talked about them briefly in my big live stream I did when I moved here, and I opened up all those boxes. They are a Swedish prog psych rock band featuring some members of Caesars or Caesar's Palace, depending on what iteration of their band that you caught them in. But their big song as Caesar's Palace or Caesars was Jerk It Out, which you guys probably know. And I'm unclear as to where the direction of Les Big Byrd is going, but their new album Sno-Golem is coming out, and I really enjoyed, I think it's They Worshipped Cats or We Worshipped Cats, and then IKEA, what's the album called? Iran, Iraq, IKEA. So very awesome. All right, so that's it for the albums I'm looking forward to. In the B-side, I will be flipping those around and letting you know what I think of them once I heard them. As always, make sure you leave a comment on this video with things that I might be missing out on, things that I should listen to this month that are coming out that may not have been on that list. If you're just coming in now to the live stream, or if you just jumped to the middle of this video, Ryan just said a new winged victory for the Sullen is coming out today, and I just talked about it. So Ryan, you're going to have to do a little catch-up and see what I talked about before you jumped in. All right, guys, let's talk about news. Whole bunch of music news, like boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna try not to be too verbose with this, but lots of good music news happening. Let's start with some of the more interesting, bigger, non-Matt related stuff. My Chemical Romance is reuniting. You guys know I love pop punk, and actually there's a record I'm gonna be showing you in a few minutes that's really one of my pop punk favorites. But My Chemical Romance, while they're not pop punk, they have a lot more similarities with Queen than, let's say, a screamo band from the mid-2000s. But extremely exciting that My Chemical Romance is doing a reunion show. I really hope that it turns into a full-blown tour. I'm not going to be able to make it to the December show in Los Angeles. If I still lived there, I probably would, though. So, very exciting. A band I never got to see live. A lot of people can, talk about My Chemical Romance as a meme or a joke, saying it's like for emo kids, but Welcome to the Black Parade is one of the best albums. It's not in my top 100. Oops, spoilers. It's not there. But if I did a top 150, it would definitely be there. There's a lot of albums that didn't make the cut that I just absolutely love. And that's one of them. That album is just so beautifully done as a concept album and sonically. So I really hope I get a chance to see them. And as the Vinyl Truffle has said in this chat about 12 times already, Rage Against the Machine is doing a reunion tour next year. Not a big one yet, although I bet it turns into a big one. They're playing along the border of Mexico. They're playing in Las Cruces, a little tiny town in New Mexico. I've actually been there. My mom used to live there, which is wild. But they're also going to be headlining Coachella. So Coachella is shaping up to be the best year yet. I hear My Chemical Romance might be on that bill as well. Some of the headliners that they're rumoring are Frank Ocean, Kanye, Tool, Adele, Rihanna, Lana Del Rey. There's a lot of possibilities for that lineup next year, and I definitely think that if the lineup is as good as I think it is, I'm going to fly out. I'm going to go Rage Against the Machine. I never thought in my lifetime that they would reunite and I'd get a chance to see them as an adult, but you know what? I think I might. So really exciting about Rage Against the Machine. I'm going to be listening to them a lot over the next week just to kind of like get myself more excited about this news. But I have 3 or 4 of their records. I'd like to keep gathering the whole discography. But yeah, I'm glad the band worked out their differences. It's very exciting. The other news, let's talk about myself for a second. TMR-3, A Cosmic Gift Field Notes, was funded. We did it, guys. 3rd record in the can. Everyone who has TMR 1 and 2 can attest, hopefully in the chat or in the comments below, how good they turned out. The quality was unbelievable. Everything about it, from the visuals to the sonic elements, are just... I couldn't have asked for better releases. I couldn't have asked for better fans for you guys to help support my vision. And I'm just so stoked that I got to make a 3rd record. I honestly have a list of like 15 albums, artists that I know or artists that I reach out to that are receptive to working with me, some of them bigger than others. The next TMR-4 is going to be hip-hop. I'm waiting on some confirmation about a possible adjacent 10-inch campaign that I'm going to run at the exact same time. Also hip-hop, but these are artists that are not nobodies. They're artists that deserve to have their work on vinyl, and you've probably heard of them at the very least. But I'm really waiting on some final confirmations. The actual LP has been confirmed by the artist. He's in. The 10-inch, still waiting on part of that confirmation. But TMR-4 is going to be up for pre-order, hopefully by the end of this year, as soon as I can. But I'm really excited. Slightly nervous about doing a hip-hop record. I know that's a polarizing genre, and I hope that the people that are into the music from TMR 1, 2, and 3 will give the album a listen at the very least and see if it jives with them, and if it is, help bring it to life. But yeah, if you haven't jumped in on TMR-3 yet, there's still a couple more days in the campaign. Get it now, or you'll regret it later because it'll be gone. And the next bit of news, I haven't told anyone yet. I can't believe this still. I won a contest by Marantz. So the audio company Marantz, one of the top tier audio companies in the world. I mean, if you don't know Marantz, a receiver from them, especially from the gold and silver age of receivers, is considered to be some of the top stuff there. I won a contest. I just talked about what I liked about Marantz, and they picked me to go. They're flying me out, me and I think 2 other people, to Los Angeles tomorrow morning, and I'm going to be there all weekend. Sunday is a huge event for Marantz, internal anniversary. I get to go to that. I get to see a bunch of technology, equipment. I get to talk about what music means to me, listen to stuff on high-end audio, which is extremely exciting, and I'm really interested to take part in this and learn more about the industry, especially from such a well-respected, amazing company. I don't know if I'm going to get any prizes. I don't know if there's going to be... I mean, the flight out there is a prize enough, but they're putting me up in a beautiful hotel. It's going to be really nice. But if they also have like a Marantz receiver that they're going to give me, that's very exciting. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'll definitely give you guys a recap after the event is done. But what's also super exciting is that I'm going to have a couple hours in LA tomorrow to myself, which means I'm going back to Amoeba. So I'm going to do a video doing a little vinyl dig through Amoeba. Probably be there for 3-4 hours if I can. I haven't been there in 5 months, so the amount of finds I'm going to have, my wallet is not prepared. It's going to be like a regular dig from Mike Alexander or Ryan, I'm sure. But I'm very excited to go back to Amoeba. It's been way too long. It feels like a little homecoming, actually. And I'll let you guys know. I'll probably do a video sometime next week showing off what I find. So excited to go back to my last home for just a little bit of time. And yeah, so that's the exciting news. Someone just asked, what's TMR-3? I started a record label, and I've put out 3 records thus far. All of them have sold out, and they're 30-day campaigns to get them while they're being made, and then they get shipped out, and then we press another record. So if you haven't seen the TMR campaign, make sure you message me, email me if you can't find the link. It's in a lot of previous videos I've done on the channel, but I highly recommend checking it out. Let's dive into some albums I got in recently. First one I want to show off, I actually was able to get an early copy of this, which is really exciting because I've been watching it today, and it looks like it is starting to sell out all the variants as we speak. So I would not wait if you're a fan of this band. This is their seminal album. All their albums are pretty solid, but this one, I'm having trouble with the hey, hold on one second. This one is one that has never been on vinyl, shockingly. I don't know why. It contains their biggest hit, and the whole album is just really, really, really good. And if I can ever get this, I should have done this ahead of time. So basically, our friends over at Enjoy the Ride, which is one of my favorite labels, they finally figured out how to get We the Kings, self-titled, on vinyl. We the Kings are known for their big song Check Yes Juliet, which I'm sure you guys know. It is pop punk royalty, hence the name We the Kings. But this whole album is full of hits. Skyway Avenue is amazing. I love Whoa. There's also a Check Yes Juliet acoustic on here. So if you guys are hesitating to get this, the band hasn't posted about it yet, and when they do, I know this is going to be gone. There's a couple variants. There's, I think, a Smart Punk exclusive. There's a retail, and then I think they have 2 or 3 of their own. Let's see what the variant is for this record. Like I said, if you guys like pop punk, you've probably wondered for a very long time, why isn't We the Kings on vinyl? Well, Enjoy the Ride stepped up to the plate, and they made it happen. So let's look and see at the variant. Oh boy, I know what this one is. I don't think you guys are ready to see how beautiful this is. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? Oh! Alright, this is definitely one of the prettiest records I maybe have ever seen. Let's put this right here. Let's put this in the back. I don't know if this is going to show well on camera. You really have to see this to believe it. So this, oh yeah, it shows. This is, I guess, their gold foil variant. I don't think it's sold out yet, but look at the texture on that. It's not a picture disc. This is just the beautiful way that they were able to get the wax to manipulate. And if you hold it up to light, it's a little translucent, but honestly, without light, it almost looks even better. Look, I can't elaborate on how beautiful this is. I think more records should do this. Like, oh yeah, that's the angle right there. Look at that. It's like you're looking at actual gold leaf. This is beautiful. I'm so excited to listen to this. Relive some of my. I just want to take a bite out of it. Is that weird? This record is essential pop punk canon. If you like pop punk, if you like bands like Cartel, you would really enjoy this as well. I feel like they're in the very similar wheelhouse. So go to Enjoy the Ride and go check them out and grab this before it sells out, because like a lot of their releases from their past catalog, once it sells out, you're not going to find them for a fair price. They're going to be aftermarket, and their aftermarket is wild. So We the Kings, self-titled, check it out. Let me show you what else. I just did an IG Live, nope, wrong, IGTV video showing this off, but I also wanted to show it off on the channel because this is an album that I love. Another one that's probably top 150 for me. This is my second favorite record of theirs, but I didn't own it. It's Stone Temple Pilots' Purple. I had always been holding off to find the purple MOV pressing of it, which was supposedly the best. But this is remastered from the tapes, and it comes with 3 CDs. The CDs have bonus material, some, I think, acoustic stuff, a live show, but it also comes with a disc that's remastered vinyl audio. And I spun this with headphones the other day, and it was the crispest mastering job I've ever heard of this record. If you guys like grunge, and you like Scott Weiland in particular, who's amazing, rest in peace, This Purple is an essential album for many, many people. And look at the packaging job they did with this. It's just the shiny packaging on both sides. That spine that's going to stick out anywhere it is inside of your shelf. Huge fan of this. Huge fan of the way that they did this. It's on Rhino's site, so go to Rhino Records. And if you don't have this, or if you have one of those inferior represses they did a few years ago, I would definitely upgrade to this, because I'm not even kidding. I was listening with headphones, and it was transporting me in the best possible way. It was the best version I've ever heard of this record. We're getting close to 20 minutes, so I gotta speed through these last couple. But I have a couple more to show you. So, Temporary Residence Limited. This happened a few months ago, but I've been meaning to show them off. They reissued, or I guess issued for the first time for one of them, 2 Explosions in the Sky records that are essential for fans of post-rock. This guy right here, The Rescue, this is actually the craziest story ever. So this is an album the band made in about 8 days. Their van broke down on tour, and they had to like stay inside of an attic, I believe, for 8 days, and they recorded music, and each song corresponds to a day of their journey. And like any post-rock album, it's very emotional, heartfelt, without any lyrics. But this has never been on vinyl before. And if you're a fan of Explosions in the Sky, you've probably wanted it on vinyl for a long time. This is on beautiful orange translucent vinyl. I'm not sure if it's sold out on their site yet, the limited versions, but if it's not, I would hop on it sooner than later. If you guys don't know, post-rock has its music, if you don't know by just hearing it, it's bands like this, like Godspeed You Black Emperor, like Caspian, where it's really big crescendos of instrumentation and then soft, beautiful parts in between. It takes you on an emotional journey, and I really love a good post-rock record, and Explosions in the Sky is top of the top. But the one that was the most exciting is How Strange Innocence, which is a record they released a long time ago, and I remember reading an article saying they would never, ever repress this, but they did, thankfully, because I wasn't going to pay the $800-900 people were asking for the original press. This is considered one of the best post-rock albums of all time, and it was done up by Temporary Res in the most gigantically gratuitous fashion in the best way possible. Look at this amazing triple gatefold. It's just, I love when packaging feels like they put so much love and thought into it. I love this art too. It's just so pretty. And the variant, as you know, is going to match really well. I have posters and stuff flying all over me right now. But look how beautiful this turned out. This is just like, it's not the same metallic kind of thing as the We the Kings, but it's definitely worth your time. So look at that. It's beautiful, translucent with those ripply waves. And both records sound very good. The worst part about a post-rock record on vinyl is that if it's not mastered properly, it sounds muddy and brick-walled. But these records give them space to breathe, give them space to be enjoyed. And I think Temporary Residence did a really great job. So, alright guys, that was the first ever live A-side. What do you think? How'd I do? I want you to leave a comment in the description of this video as soon as it goes live. I'm sorry I couldn't respond to everyone's comments in the chat, but I do appreciate you being here with me live. And happy birthday to Steven in 2 days. Leave a comment on this video. If you leave a comment on any of my videos, it means the world to me because it helps YouTube think that my channel's doing well and they promote me more, which helps me grow. So the best thing you can do if you're not subscribed to the channel right now is to subscribe and turn notifications on. But also just make sure you comment on every video I put out. That is the best thing. That's the best gift you can give me for Christmas. So thank you guys for coming in to the stream. We'll do another live B-side in the month, and a ton of other videos are coming out soon. So stick around. Thank you guys again. Have a good weekend, and listen to some